Hi, everyone. Welcome in. We're just going to wait a couple more minutes or just a moment for a few more people to pop in. But as we're getting started, Vernicia, if you could release poll number 1 to our participants. Let me know if you're able to do that.
Yeah, I just launched it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Do you want to translate, Priscilla?
Oh, I got it. Hola, buenas tardes. Antes de comenzar este taller, tenemos algunas preguntas. Si usted pudiera tomar esta encuesta para dejarnos saber si necesita traducción, por favor, déjenos saber.
So as we transition into getting started, sorry, just needed to message one of my colleagues on here who's assisting us, who I'll introduce later, who's helping behind the scenes. In the meantime, while we're collecting info, I will introduce, Priscilla, do you want to translate real quick?
Oh, we don't need translation.
Oh, we don't? Okay. Okay, we don't need translation. Okay, great. Well, okay, if that's the case, then I will get started on my end. Welcome, everyone. I see some familiar names from earlier this morning, so thank you for joining us again. If this is repeat from what you've heard before, apologies, but we still got to do, we still got to introduce everyone, the folks who weren't here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this month's edition of our Wellness Wednesday workshops. This is a series of workshops that's hosted by Priscilla Espinoza of Sprout Change and her mother, Maria Rodriguez of Herminemos, and occurs every third Wednesday from now until August of this year. This month's focus is on heart and lung health. And this workshop series is funded by the UMass Memorial Health Alliance Clinton Hospital with a focus on free health and wellness programming for residents of North Central Mass. And this is a workshop series that is also in collaboration with the Bigelow Free Public Library in Clinton, Mass. Thank you so much for your patience, for folks who've been wanting to join us both in person as well as virtually. This workshop series will be both virtual and in person next month at the Bigelow Free Public Library. So we hope to see you there. If you want to join us, we do have limited capacity for 25 people. So just as a heads up, more information and registration for that will show up in our newsletter. But next month's workshop will be on March 16th with a focus on healthy immunity. It'll be held at the same times that we've been hosting our workshops today, which is 10:30 a.m. and 12 p.m. 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Sprouting and 6 p.m. to 7:30 on food as medicine, natural remedies, and herbs. And we hope that you can join us again, either on site or virtually. If you haven't submitted to our poll, please do so now. Seems so far that we're pretty good for sticking to English, but please let us know. And just to go over a little bit of Zoom etiquette before we go forward, feel free to chime in the chat with your questions for Priscilla as she presents. We will have a more formal Q&A at the end. And we do encourage you to, if you want to unmute yourself to ask a question, feel free to do so. And we're also recording today's workshop via Zoom, and we'll be posting post-event recordings to those soon. By the end of February, we'll have all of those up, and we'll email you past workshops as well that you'll be able to access. I want to turn it over to my colleague, Vernicia, who will just do a quick introduction of herself and a few other sort of Zoom etiquette things as well. Welcome, Vernicia.
Hello, thank you, Sarah. Hi, everybody. My name is Vernicia, and I am the assistant lead project manager assistant. And I will be behind the scenes launching polls or dropping surveys as the presenters, or as presenter Priscilla is sharing information with y'all. So if you have any lingering questions about the survey or questions in general to share with the group, feel free to extend those to me or also Sarah, in addition to Sarah too. So as we transition, I would like to also hand it over to Priscilla. So please help me in welcoming her with maybe some clapping emojis or anything like that. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. We're going to get started in today's presentation on heart and lung health. As Sarah mentioned, the work that we're doing right now is between Germinemos, my mom's business, and Sprout Change, my business, is sponsored by UMass Memorial Health Alliance Clinton Hospital. We have our Wellness Wednesdays taking place every third Wednesday. And sorry, I'm presenting the wrong presentation. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so let me share screen again. As Sarah mentioned, we have Wellness Wednesday taking place every third Wednesday, so we look forward to seeing you at next month's workshop. We will be covering the topic of healthy immune system. And we have our No-Dig Garden workshops taking place every fourth Sunday starting next month, March through August. Join us at Fitchburg's Sundial Community Garden, and we will have also a limited size class, so please register in advance to attend our classes, and we look forward to seeing you there. And without further ado, we're going to discuss the topic for today. Sprout Change is dedicated to helping you sprout change using food as medicine, natural remedies, and herbs. Our social mission is to empower the everyday person to become autonomous with their overall health. And our vision is to be a global transformative grassroots movement that not only helps the everyday person transition into a healing foods, diet, and lifestyle, but also empowers us to regenerate our shared earth and natural resources in a resilient manner. Please note that today's presentation is not a substitute for medical advice. The information provided by Germinemos and Sprout Change in media outlets, while campaigning, at workshops, or during one-on-one consultations are for general information only and are not intended to provide medical advice and should not be relied upon as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Today's workshop is on the heart and lung health using food as medicine, natural remedies, and herbs. In this workshop, the participant will learn how to use food as medicine, natural remedies, and herbs, plus tips for heart and lung health. These products include leafy greens, beets, pineapple, mullein, hibiscus, cayenne pepper, and more.
Priscilla, can I interrupt one more? I got a private message.
One moment.
I got a private message asking for Spanish translation, if you're able to translate.
Oh, yes. Okay. I will need to translate. El taller de hoy va a discutir el tema de la salud cardiovascular y de los pulmones, usando comida como medicina, remedios naturales y hierbas. Para la persona que habla español, habíamos discutido sobre los talleres que tenemos comenzando en marzo. Cada tercer miércoles tenemos los talleres de salud y bienestar, con mi mamá, la fundadora de Germinemos, en la mañana presentando el tema de germinados, y conmigo en la tarde presentando comida como medicina, remedios naturales y hierbas. El tema del próximo mes será de la inmunidad saludable. Y el tema de hoy es sobre el corazón y los pulmones. Los productos que vamos a hablar sobre son las hojas verdes, la remolacha, la piña, una hoja que se llama mullein, la flor de Jamaica, la pimienta cayena y otras cosas más. At the end of this workshop, the participant will obtain indispensable education on how to use these basic products as a healing food or herb. This way, they will be able to better manage their heart and lung health for themselves and their family member. Al final de este taller, el participante va a recibir información, educación indispensable con cómo usar estos básicos productos que son comida como medicina o hierbas para mejor apoyar a su bienestar y salud y también el bienestar y salud de los seres queridos en su familia. Food as medicine, comida como medicina. For food as medicine, I'm going to speak on for heart health, there's beets, there's garlic, there's berries, and there are leafy greens. And for lungs, we have pineapple, lentils, berries, and leafy greens. Para la comida como medicina, para el corazón, tenemos la remolacha, el ajo, los frutos pequeños como la mirtilla, las fresas, ¿cómo se dice? Raspberries, y las hojas verdes. En italiano se dicen fruta de bosque. Y para los pulmones tenemos la piña, lentejas, también estos frutos pequeños y las hojas verdes. According to scientific journals that I've researched, leafy greens contain chlorophyll, and they're actually used, the chlorophyll are being used in clinical studies to see how they support cardiovascular health. And it's been demonstrated that cardiovascular health does improve when chlorophyll is implemented because it reduces, it supports against oxidative stress. And also chlorophyll supports with maintaining healthy blood vessels. De acuerdo a estudios científicos en estudios clínicos, se ha comprobado que la clorofila que viene de las hojas verdes es muy importante para la salud cardiovascular y se ha notado que ha mejorado para los pacientes que tienen problemas cardíacos porque ayuda con las venas, ayuda a que las venas se mantengan saludables y el transporte de la sangre. I'm going to discuss a little bit more about chlorophyll and how it plays a role in making plants green and healthy, and also has vitamins, antioxidants, and therapeutic properties that may benefit your body. Voy a hablar un poquito más sobre la clorofila, que tiene un papel muy importante juega un papel muy importante en mantener las plantas verdes y saludables. Contiene vitaminas, antioxidantes y propiedades terapéuticas para beneficiar su cuerpo. Something interesting about hemoglobin, which is found in your blood, and it helps transport oxygen in your blood from your lungs to the rest of your body, is that hemoglobin and chlorophyll are actually very similar. They have pretty much the same makeup, elemental makeup. They contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. And at the center of the hemoglobin is iron, and at the center of the chlorophyll is magnesium. So there's only one element difference between hemoglobin, which is in your blood and helps transport oxygen from your lungs to the rest of your body, and chlorophyll. And so not only is chlorophyll so vital for your heart health, it is also extremely vital for your lung health. And so if there's anything that I would encourage you to remember in today's workshop, is the value of increasing your leafy greens throughout your day to maintain optimal heart and lung health. Estoy discutiendo el tema de clorofila y cómo la clorofila es muy parecida a la hemoglobina. La hemoglobina está en la sangre, está ubicada en la sangre y ayuda a transportar el oxígeno en la sangre de los pulmones al resto del cuerpo. La estructura de la hemoglobina es muy similar a la clorofila. Contienen la hemoglobina, contiene las dos, hemoglobina y clorofila contienen carbón, hidrógeno, oxígeno y nitrógeno. Y al centro de la hemoglobina, la diferencia es que la hemoglobina al centro tiene el hierro y al centro, la diferencia entre la hemoglobina y la clorofila es que al centro de la clorofila está el magnesio. Entonces, la única diferencia entre la hemoglobina y la clorofila, que tienen una estructura muy parecida, es el hierro y el magnesio. Es el consumir clorofila. Si hay algo que yo puedo dejarle hoy a ustedes, es la importancia de comer hojas verdes para apoyar a su corazón y también apoyar a sus pulmones. Natural remedies, remedios naturales. Forest bathing, haciéndose una ducha de la foreste. And forest bathing, I'm not sure if anybody is aware of it. You can raise your hand if you're aware of this term. And if not, I'll proceed. El tema del baño de la foreste, si hay alguien ha escuchado de este tema, por favor, déjenos saber alzando su manito. Y si no, voy a continuar con este tema. So forest bathing is the act of walking in nature, specifically in a forest. So when you think of hiking or taking a long walk in the woods, you are forest bathing. And forest bathing helps your heart and your lungs because it supports your lung health by making sure that you're getting very fresh, clean oxygen. And then it supports your heart health because it reduces stress. So by reducing stress, you're actually reducing oxidative stress, which can increase high blood pressure. And so an oxidative stress also degenerates. It creates high cortisol levels in our bodies, which over time creates an inflammatory state in our body. And so we want to make sure that we are as calm as possible despite any stress that we may be experiencing. And one way of managing the stress is through forest bathing. El baño de la foreste es prácticamente ir a caminar en la foreste o en las montañas, en el bosque, y es terapéutico porque el acto de caminar en el bosque ayuda a aliviar el estrés, ayuda a mantener al sistema nervioso calmo y ayuda a aportar también el beneficio de un aire muy limpio, muy fresco, que le aporta a buenos beneficios a sus pulmones, porque así usted recibe un aire limpio, con oxígeno de alta calidad, porque está con el aire puro en el bosque. And so not only are you helping your nervous system and supporting your heart health, you're also supporting your lung health by forest bathing. No solo usted está apoyando a su corazón y bajando los niveles del estrés, pero también uno está apoyando a sus pulmones con la calidad de limpio oxígeno. Another natural remedy that you may be familiar with is aromatherapy. Otro remedio natural que usted quizás está asociado con es la aromaterapia. For heart health, I highly recommend using floral scents, for instance, lavender and rose, and citrus scents, for instance, lemon, lime, and tangerine. Para la aromaterapia, para el corazón, altamente recomiendo esencias que huelen a flores, como la lavanda y rosa, o cítricos, esencias que huelen a cítricos como el limón amarillo, el limón verde o una mandarina. Y so for the floral scents, why floral? Floral is very uplifting, and it's very soothing. So it's very calming. And why citrus? Citrus is actually very awakening. It's very cheery. And so if somebody is experiencing, maybe they're a little tired, it also works for that. Not only are you supporting your heart health because you're alleviating your stress levels, you can also increase your mood. So by having a citrus smell. I am going to say hello to my grandmother. So one moment. Hola, mamá. Bienvenida. I'm so happy that she's here. She, if I may share, she has a heart condition, so I'm so happy that she can hear this. Estoy muy contenta que mi abuela está participando con nosotros y la acabo de saludar. Ella tiene, ha tenido algunos incidentes con su corazón y el tenerla aquí cuando estoy hablando de un taller sobre el corazón me llena con mucho orgullo y mucha felicidad, mamá. Acabo de discutir el tema de aromaterapia y las esencias que son muy buenas para el corazón, que son las esencias de flores como la lavanda, la rosa, y de cítricos como el limón amarillo, el limón verde y la mandarina. For lung health, peppermint, wintergreen, and eucalyptus and pine are very good. And these are more cooling and also more airy types of, when you think of airy, because they're aromatic tree leaves for most of them, except for the peppermint. You think of aromatic eucalyptus, which is a tree, or pine, which is a tree. And so you have the leaves or the needles, and these eucalyptus leaves or the pine needles are aromatic. And so these are very, very wonderful. These essential oils are very wonderful for lung health. Cuando estamos hablando de la aromaterapia para los pulmones, la menta es muy buena, el eucaliptos y el pino. También hay wintergreen, que es un tipo de esencia que huele como, es como una mezcla de eucaliptos y menta. Y el wintergreen es lo que le da el olor al Vivaporub, al VapoRub. So wintergreen is actually the essential oil that is used to give VapoRub the smell that it has. And you can make your own salve type of VapoRub to use to use the brand name that we associate. Another natural remedy that I highly recommend, and I speak very highly about this in previous workshops, is hydrotherapy. It's uninvasive, it's extremely affordable, and this is the therapy that you use with water in your own home. Otro remedio natural que me encanta hablar sobre, que discuto mucho en talleres previos, es la hidroterapia. And hydrotherapy, you can do this with Epsom salt baths. The benefits of hydrotherapy is that they reduce inflammation and improve circulation. Los beneficios de la hidroterapia, la hidroterapia se puede tomar a través de los baños de sal de Epsom. Los beneficios de la hidroterapia es que reducen la inflamación y mejora la circulación. One moment, please. 1 minute, please. Okay, thank you. Another natural remedy that I recommend to my clients, especially when they need to alleviate an ailment on a certain part of their body. And this one's very good, particularly for lung health. If there's a lot of congestion or inflammation, I would highly recommend using castor oil compresses. Otra recomendación que yo les recomiendo a mis clientes, particularmente cuando tienen algún problema, que padecen algún problema en el cuerpo, es de hacerse una compresa con el aceite de castor. El aceite de castor tiene propiedades antiinflamatorias, también ayuda a eliminar las toxinas del cuerpo, es rica en nutrientes como minerales y vitaminas y ayuda a reducir el dolor y aumentar la circulación sanguínea. The benefits of using castor oil is that they're anti-inflammatory, It helps remove toxins from the body. It replenishes the body with nutrients like minerals, vitamins, and it helps reduce pain and increase blood circulation. And lastly, I'm going to discuss herbs before I go to the demonstration part of today's workshop. Y últimamente voy a discutir hierbas antes de hacer la transición a la demostración, a la parte de la demostración de este taller. Y las hierbas que voy a discutir son, there's a study, a clinical study that found that capsaicin as a supplementation, which is the active ingredient in cayenne pepper and in hot peppers, is found to actually reduce the risk of coronary heart issues, coronary heart disease, and to lower bad cholesterol. En un estudio clínico se comprobó que el capsaicin, que es el elemento activo de la pimienta cayena y de los pimientos que son picantes, ha demostrado que ayuda a reducir el riesgo de la enfermedad de corazón cardiovascular y también de reducir el colesterol malo. Herbs that I highly recommend that are more accessible to find, hierbas que yo recomiendo que son súper fácil de encontrar, accesibles. For heart are hibiscus, cayenne pepper, and linden. Para el corazón es flor de Jamaica, la pimienta cayena y tilo, la hoja de tilo o las flores y hojas de tilo. For hibiscus, I make it into a tea infusion. For cayenne pepper, I use it as a spice in my food, or I mix it with water if I'm experiencing high blood pressure or anxiety, which affects high blood pressure. And so I'll drink it with water. And linden is more as a soft, mild, calming herb. And linden is actually safe to use even in babies. So if you have a baby that's crying a lot or has a fever, you can safely use linden flower. Para el corazón me gusta usar la flor de Jamaica como una bebida, como un té, como una infusión de té. La pimienta cayena me gusta usarla encima de mi comida para hacerla un poquito más picante. Si estoy padeciendo de presión alta, pongo un poquito de pimienta cayena con agua y me lo bebo. O la flor de tilo, las hojas y flor de tilo, es más como un calmante liviano y se puede usar hasta con los bebés, el tilo. Para los bebés ayuda con la fiebre y también ayuda a calmar el bebé si está el bebé inquieto. For lung health, the herbs I like to use are mullein, which, fun fact, mullein is antiviral. And I like to use oregano, which is antifungal, antibacterial, and has immune boosting properties, so it helps with the lungs. And yarrow, which also has antibacterial and antifungal properties, and they're good for lung health. Para las hierbas, para los pulmones, me gusta usar la hoja de mullein, que se puede hasta conseguir salvaje aquí en Massachusetts. El orégano, que el mullein, que algo nítido del mullein es que es antiviral y es muy bueno para este tiempo para mantener nuestra inmunidad alta. El orégano, que es antibacterial y antifungal, y eso se puede hacer también como una infusión de té o se puede usar en la cocina. Y una hierba que se llama yarrow en inglés, que no estoy segura del nombre en español. Esta hoja también se puede conseguir salvaje en Massachusetts. Y aquí hay estudios sobre los beneficios de la flor de Jamaica y el mullein, la flor de Jamaica para tratar la presión alta y el mullein para tratar a la tuberculosis. Here we have some scientific studies that support hibiscus being used for high blood pressure or hypertension, and for mullein being used for treating tuberculosis. And now we're going to transition to a question and answer section, or you can leave your questions and answers for the end, and so that I can transition for the next part of today's segment, which is the demonstration. Do we have any questions? Tenemos algunas preguntas. Ahora voy a discutir el tema de la demostración. Si hay alguna pregunta, usted puede hacerla ahora o usted puede esperar para el final del taller para responderle a sus preguntas. Y podemos ahora comenzar la parte de la demostración. I'm going to go back to get ready for the demonstration. Me voy a ir para atrás para hacer la parte de la demostración. Oops, my camera.
I got you.
Thank you.
There we go, perfect.
So we discussed beets. Personally, I like using beets as fresh, grated, and I'm going to share with you a quick recipe to make it into cultured vegetables so it becomes a superfood. So it becomes even more nutritious. And you can also use it grated for your salad. Voy a discutir la remolacha primero y la voy a guayar para usarla como vegetales fermentados, o se puede utilizar también como en una ensalada. Puede guayarla y puede utilizarla en sus fermentados, en su ensalada. And I forgot my knife. Y se me olvidó mi cuchillo. Entonces, en lo que espero para mi cuchillo, voy a hablar sobre otra cosa. So while I wait for the knife, I will discuss something else. So, thank you. The wonderful thing of having your team with you. So thank you, Sarah. Sarah is both the camera woman as well as our person that gets whatever we need, the presenter needs. So I cut the beet so that I just have the root portion. Corté la remolacha, así solamente tengo la parte de la raíz. And I will use the rest of the stems and the leafy greens. I will incorporate it also, and I will just first start by grating it. And I will grate it here. And I just gave it a good rinse, y yo lo voy a rallar aquí. Y ya lo había lavado, la remolacha. If you prefer, you can use a food processor. Si usted prefiere, usted puede usar una procesadora de comida para guayarlo. And so this portion is going to be good for a small mason jar. This is about not more than a little under 2 cups. I mean, if you fill it to the brim, it's 2 cups. Vamos a usar este mason jar pequeño. Y no es más de 2 tazas. Quizás si lo llena hasta el top, sería 2 tazas. And you can culture almost any vegetable. Y usted puede fermentar casi cualquier vegetal. Y los beneficios de fermentar sus vegetales es que aumentan los nutrientes. Y así son mejor digestibles y también contienen probióticos. So the benefits of culturing your vegetables is that it increases the nutrient count, and it also increases the probiotics. There's naturally existing beneficial bacteria, probiotics, on the plant, and these are called L. plantarum. Hay microorganismos beneficiosos, bacteria beneficiosa que se llama L. plantarum y existen en la planta. Y yo voy a demostrar cómo también añadirle más bacteria beneficiosa. La bacteria beneficiosa es importante para la salud de su estómago. The beneficial bacteria or the probiotics are important for our gut health. And most of our immunity is in our gut. So ensuring that we have optimal beneficial bacteria is important for our overall immunity. Y asegurándonos que nosotros tenemos la bacteria beneficiosa es importante para mantener una alta inmunidad. And we will discuss more about immunity next month. Y vamos a discutir más sobre inmunidad en el taller del próximo mes. So we have this pretty much graded. Tenemos esto ya bastante guayado. Y ahora vamos a comenzar a llenar el pote. Tenemos esto así, bastante lleno. This is quite full. I'm very happy with this. And I'm now going to chop these leaf greens. So these beet greens, as well as Swiss chard and spinach, are high in oxalates. So we want to be mindful of not consuming oxalates too frequently, because oxalates bind to calcium. And so we want to make sure that we're not eating too many that can take calcium out of our body. Queremos asegurarnos que cuando comamos las hojas verdes de la remolacha o la espinaca o un vegetal que se llama el Swiss chard, que no lo comamos muy seguidos porque contienen algo que se llama oxalates, y estos oxalates se pegan al calcio en el cuerpo y se lo sacan del cuerpo. Entonces, usted no quiere hacer eso, especialmente si usted tiene problemas de las coyunturas o de los huesos. So you want to be careful to not eat too many high oxalate rich foods if you have joint issues, or if you have, let's say, bone issues or arthritis, because you need to be able to keep in your body as much calcium as possible. So we're going to mix this here. And I'm going to season it with some Himalayan salt, which has a little bit lower sodium content than traditional salt, table salt, or sea salt, because it has so many minerals. La sal Himalaya tiene un poquito menos de sodio que la sal tradicional, como la sal de mesa o la sal marina, porque contiene más minerales. And this salt I highly recommend to people who have high blood pressure, because it has a little bit less sodium and it has a lot of minerals. Y yo esta sal ya se la recomiendo a las personas que tienen la presión alta porque tiene un poquito menos sodio y es alto en muchos minerales. Now that we've seasoned this with salt, you can season it with other herbs of your choice. I think this is fine. I'm going to give it a good mix. I'll use a fork. Ahora que ya le pusimos la sal, lo voy a mezclar bien y con un tenedor, pero se puede usar una cuchara o otro cubierto que usted prefiere. I'm going to use this jar and I'm going to fill it. Voy a utilizar este jarro y lo voy a llenar. If you have a funnel, I highly recommend you using a funnel. Si usted tiene esta herramienta de la cocina para poder llenar sus jarros, yo altamente se lo recomiendo.
And something I didn't mention when you're making cultured vegetables, which is very important, and I'll demonstrate to you how to use it, is you want to roll up a leaf at the end to be a stopper so that the vegetables are not floating to the top, so that they stay to the bottom. Una cosa que yo no mencioné es de utilizar una hoja grande que va a funcionar como un parador para impedir que los vegetales se suban arriba en el proceso de fermentación. Van a querer subirse para arriba. So as a stopper, we can use this remaining part of the beef that we didn't grate, and we can also use the leaves. Como un parador podemos usar esta parte de la remolacha que queda, y también podemos usar hojas. So I'm going to use this leaf. I'm going to take this end of the beet that we didn't use, and I'm going to wrap it up. I'll probably need to wrap up another leaf too. So I'll do like this. So now we have a nice stopper. Así, yo cogí una hoja como ustedes vieron y se la puse alrededor de la parte de remolacha que quedaba, y cogí esta otra hoja, se la voy a poner arriba. El punto es de hacer como una pelotita. The point is to make a little ball. And that's going to be your stopper. Ahora usted quiere añadir el agua y el probiótico si usted lo tiene. Now you want to add water and the probiotic capsule or culture starter if you have it. My favorite culture starter or probiotics that I take is Mega Food Megaflora. Has 14 strains of beneficial bacteria. And so I like using it. It's completely plant-based. These are natural beneficial bacteria found from the soil or from the plants themselves. Entonces mi probiótico preferido es Mega Food Megaflora, y este probiótico tiene 14 tipos de bacterias beneficiosas. Y yo la voy a añadir una cápsula a nuestro jarrito. And I'm going to add one capsule to our little jar. And because you can't, this capsule is something that you can ingest, I'm actually going to add the capsule right in there. So it's going to be no waste. Everything is used. And now I slowly add some water. Entonces yo puse el polvito de la bacteria beneficiosa del probiótico y también la cápsula adentro, y ahora estoy añadiendo agua. And you add water until you get to the rim, y añade agua hasta que llegue casi al final, almost to the rim. You don't want it to overflow because it's going to overflow naturally. No quiere que se derrame el agua, quiere solamente que casi esté cubierto. This is an anaerobic fermentation. Esta es una fermentación anaeróbica sin oxígeno. It's without oxygen. And that way you're not getting any wild yeast. So I just placed a little sandwich bag that I cut or snack bag that I cut the rim. Yo utilicé una pequeña bolsita de snacks, de sándwich, y le quité la parte que cierra. Usted no tiene que hacer esto. You don't need to do this. I do this to save my lids. I don't use the plastic mason jar lids because I feel that oxygen still gets in, and we want to make sure that this is very well locked, sealed, and there's no oxygen. Yo no uso la tapita plástica porque he notado que no se cierra completamente, no es completamente sin aire. El aire entra, y si el aire entra, se daña. If air gets in, it's going to ruin this batch. So we want to make sure it's tight, not too tight because water is going to come out. Then you're going to place it in a basin. You want to make sure the basin is high enough, the container is high enough. Lo va a ubicar en un contenedor. Quiere asegurarse que el contenedor sea bastante alto para que cuando se esté derramando el agua, que va a gotear agua, el envase sea suficientemente grande para aguantarlo. So you want to make sure that when this is fermenting and it's releasing liquid, that it's big enough to contain the liquid. And I'm going to put this in a dark corner. Y ahora voy a poner esto en una área sin luz para que se fermente. This will be ready in about 7 days. Esto va a estar listo en aproximadamente 7 días. And, but you can use it whenever you want. Usted puede utilizarlo cuando usted quiera. Once you open it, you want to put it in the fridge. Ya cuando lo abra, quiere ponerlo en la nevera. And I've had culture vegetables that I've made and I haven't consumed them for an entire year. Yo he hecho fermentados y no lo he consumido hasta por un año entero. So there we go. That's our first presentation. I'm gonna move some vegetables and I'm gonna transition to the second part and rinse my hands and ask for a time check. 6:51. Okay. 9 minutes. The next thing I'm going to do is very simple. So I highly recommend you to consume pineapples if you have a condition that makes you susceptible to asthma or lung concerns or respiration issues or congestion issues. Altamente les recomiendo de utilizar 13 pineapple. I hope I did, because that's what I meant to say. Altamente le recomiendo de utilizar piña si usted tiene algún problema respiratorio como asma o como o congestión. La piña es muy buena para sacar el catarro, la flema de los pulmones. Pineapple is very good for helping to expel phlegm from your lungs. So I am going to actually be using a not from concentrate, high quality pineapple juice. Voy a utilizar un jugo de piña que no viene de concentrado y es orgánico para hacer un jugo que se puede utilizar como una bebida para las ocasiones especiales o para si usted se quiere tratar, se quiere como tratar muy bien. I'm going to teach you a very simple way to prepare this, which feels quite special, and you can make it like this yourself. So you can either have it pure. I'm going to make it sparkling. So I did 1 part of the pineapple juice. And I'm going to fill the rest of it up with Pellegrino sparkling water, some sparkling water. I recommend you try to use a real mineral water because you're getting minerals instead of just carbonated water. Le recomiendo de utilizar una agua mineral con burbujas en vez de agua con la carbonización, porque así usted tiene los minerales. You give it a nice stir, and we'll leave this for Sarah to enjoy. And the next thing I want to share with you is a simple dressing that is good for your heart using garlic. I'll teach you how to make a garlic flavored, which is quite nice dressing for your salad. I have some leafy greens here. I really enjoy using assorted greens and arugula and mixing them together to make my salad. And I made a salad earlier today, so I'll show you the salad that I made earlier. A mí me gusta usar las hojas verdes como las hojitas que se le dicen spring mix, hojitas de primavera, y también las hojitas de arúgula. Me gustan usar estos dos tipos y mezclarlos. Y tengo una ensalada que yo hice anteriormente, que se la voy a enseñar. I made this salad earlier, and it has cucumbers on the outside, tiene pepinos afuera. Inside are the mixed greens. Adentro están estos vegetales mixtos. And I put some escarole on, or radicchio on top. Yo puse un poquito de radicchio, que es una hoja un poquito amarga, que se usa en Italia y en Europa. Radicchio es italiano. Radicchio is an Italian name, but it's also the name of the vegetable. It also has some fenugreek sprouts and some mung bean sprouts. In the middle, there's grated beets. Tiene también ¿cómo se dice? Las habichuelitas chinas germinadas, y también el fenugreek germinado, zanahoria que está fermentada, y la remolacha en el medio que había guayado. So this has cultured carrots, and so I really love trying to do cultured vegetables with every salad and every meal. And I put a little bit of radicchio last, and the sprouts, and this is it. And I'll teach you how to make the dressing. Les voy a enseñar cómo hacer el aderezo. So for the dressing, we're going to take 1 garlic clove. Para el aderezo vamos a usar un diente de ajo. I'm going to teach you the Italian way to mash the garlic. Le voy a enseñar la manera italiana que yo aprendí para majar el ajo. Y es con la parte plana del cuchillo, with the flat part of the knife. You want to put it on top. You want to take your hand like this and just press it really hard down. And that helps to mash it. Y ahora se majó. Now I take the end off. Ahora le quité la parte del final. I'm going to mash it a little bit more. Lo voy a majar un poquito más. Now I'm going to slice it. There we go. And I'm going to slice it again. So I did one long way, and now I'm going to do one sideways. Lo corté como finito de una manera, y ahora lo voy a picar finito de la otra manera. Y van a quedar como cuadritos. It's going to end up cubed, little cubes, little tiny cubes. I would say that this would be diced or finely chopped. If you want to make it even more finely chopped, you could just go like this at the end. Si usted quiere majarlo más, puede hacer así al final. So that's good. Now I'm going to take a container. Ahora voy a coger un contenedor y lo voy a ubicar adentro. There we go. And I'm going to add some lemon juice, some fresh squeezed lemon juice. This lemon, I'm going to use it for food because if I cut it with the garlic, it's going to taste like garlic. Este cuchillo este limón lo voy a utilizar para preparaciones de comida, porque si lo pico ahora va a tener el olor de ajo. Or another trick I could do is I can clean it from the end, one end. Another thing, otra cosa que puedo hacer es puedo limpiarlo de una esquina. So it'll eliminate the garlic taste. So I could just do this to eliminate the garlic taste a little bit. So that way when I cut it in the middle, it's not too strong like garlic. So now I'm going to have this ready for squeezing. And now I'm going to squeeze it. Ahora lo voy a exprimir. And this is a basic, simple vinaigrette. Esto es una vinagreta muy sencilla, basada en limón en vez de vinagre. this vinaigrette is based with lemon instead of with vinegar. And so it's high antioxidants because citrus fruits or sour fruits are high in antioxidants. They contain vitamin C. And now I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil. So if you can tell, you know, you want to do almost 50-50. I personally like a little bit more sour, so I'm going to do a little less olive oil. ¿Usted quiere hacer aproximadamente mitad y mitad, 50-50? Yo personalmente me gusta mi aderezo un poquito más como agrio, entonces voy a utilizar menos aceite. And that's it. And then we're going to add some salt. Salt is optional. La sal es opcional. No tiene que añadirle la sal. And I'm going to give it a good stir to emulsify it a little bit. Lo voy a mezclar muy como rápido para que se mezcle bien, se integre bien, se emulsifique. And once it gets emulsified, I know that the vinaigrette is ready. And I could use it as a dressing, or I could use it on my bread, or I can use it on these tomatoes, in your sandwich, in your pasta. It actually makes a nice dressing for pasta with greens. Hace un lindísimo aderezo en los tomates, en la ensalada, también en la pasta. Si tiene una pasta fresca con hojas verdes y este aderezo es muy rica, o con pan, una rodaja de pan. So thank you everybody for joining me today for today's presentation on heart and lung health. Gracias a todos por participar con nosotros para este taller de salud del corazón y salud de los pulmones. Y espero verlos en el próximo taller de la salud del sistema inmunológico. And I hope to see you at next month's workshop on healthy immune systems. Do we have any questions? I know we want to ask you to take a survey. If you could take a survey, it'd be wonderful. It'll help us know how we're doing, if we need to improve anything. Sería maravilloso si usted pudiera participar en una encuesta para ayudarnos, dejarnos saber cómo estamos haciendo, cómo podemos mejorar, qué podemos hacer para poder ofrecerle los mejores talleres posibles, so that we know how to improve and provide you the best workshops for you.
Hi, folks. Momentarily, we're going to put our surveys into the chat. So again, as Priscilla said, if you're able to answer our surveys, we would greatly appreciate any of the feedback.
You're welcome, Joni. You're welcome, Sandy. You're welcome, Sandra. Oh, thank you, Mami. So, en vez de baño de la Foreste o baño, no sé qué estaba diciendo, mi mamá me dijo que se veía mejor baño forestal. Gracias, Mami. We have the English survey now, and we have, tenemos la encuesta también en español ahora disponible.
Again, if we'll be sticking around while folks are filling out our surveys. So if you have any questions or have any issues with the survey, please feel free to stick around and ask those questions. But again, thank you all so much for your kind words that are coming in the chat. Looking forward to the recording. Thank you so much, Jody. But yeah, we'll stay online while folks.
Vamos a quedarnos aquí un momentito más para ayudarlos con algunas preguntas que ustedes puedan tener con la encuesta. Entonces, vamos a estar monitorando el chat o si tiene algo que decir, podemos apoyarlo en la encuesta o en sus preguntas. Thank you, Jody, for your feedback. We will be providing the recording soon, so we will be sharing the recordings in our newsletter. We will be sharing the recordings to the participants who attended our workshops. Vamos a compartir las grabaciones con los participantes de los talleres.
And while we're closing out, are there any final questions for Priscilla about anything that she covered today before we start to log off?
En lo que estamos alistándonos para cerrar este taller, ¿hay alguna pregunta para mí sobre ese taller? Y así le podemos responder. My mom says that her mother is planning to use this info, that being my grandmother. Mi mamá acaba de decir que su mamá está planeando utilizar esta información. Eso significa que mi abuela quiere utilizar esta información. Wow, mamá, estoy muy orgullosa de usted. Wow, grandma, I'm so proud of you. I'm going to get something to drink while I wait for you all to ask. Feel free to ask. We're here to help you.
Again, if folks have filled out the survey, feel free to log off if you've got other things that you got to do with your evening. Thank you again for joining us. We're just going to stick around so that if there are folks who need help with the survey, we're available. Thank you again. Mom, I see that you're still on. I'm gonna just message and double check that you're good on your end. Bonnie, also let us know if you have any questions before you log off.
Yeah, I'm not getting the survey. I pressed a whole bunch of buttons, but it's still not coming.
Okay, that's so okay. I'll email it
Send it to me like you did last time. That would be great.
Will do. Just so you know, I don't know if you have any issues using the chat function on Zoom, because that's where we're submitting the surveys. So I'll just
The chat thing. Oh, okay. Let me try
Yeah.
that. I can't even get that up now.
Oh, okay. No
Oh,
worries.
Wait a minute. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
And
wait
it's
a
just
minute.
one that says English in all caps, and then there's a link that says forms.gle. If you see that.
Um, Okay, I think it's coming. I hit English.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It came up. I got it.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
No
Yep,
problem.
Thank you.
Do you still need our help with it, or do you think you got it from this end, Bonnie?
Let's say again, what?
Sorry, I was just checking to see if you still want our help with it, or do you think you have it, if you're all set on your end now?
I think I have it okay. Yeah,
Okay.
thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much again, Bonnie, for your attendance, and thank you again for the feedback about the Zoom passcode. Yeah, definitely, I'm going to look into that for the following events. So thank you again for that feedback. That was how that was.
It worked perfect this time. I
Mhm.
like the way you did that this time. It was perfect.
Yeah, no
Perfect.
worries.
Thank you.
I figured I'd at least get the info to everybody. Thank you again.
You know
All
what?
right,
I have a question.
oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
still
go
right
for it.
there. When it asked me how many times you have attended this series, is this this is the number of times that we've been meeting, and it started in November, right? November, December.
Yes, it was November. So yeah, so we're at November, December, January, February. So technically you would, I mean, I know you've also attended past other like workshops with Priscilla and Maria outside of this workshop series, but I would say that you would be a fourth time attendee if we're wanting it to be accurate for this project.
Okay. Yep. I think that's what I put last time too.
Okay.
But
No
thank
worries.
you.
All right. Thank you so much again, Bonnie.
You're welcome.
All right, we're going to end the Zoom now. And if you have any more questions, just feel free to email us, okay?
Okay. Great.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Mom, I'm going to kick you now. Sorry.
You're talking to me, Sarah?
Not you, my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I have sound.
That's it. I don't know.
Bye, thank you, everyone. My nice pink fingers.
Thank you, Bernicia, as always. for your
Yes,
help.
thank you, Bernicia. Thanks, Mami, for coming. And Mama. Gracias, Mamá, por venir con
Of
nosotros
course, no problem.
a participar.
Sí, quedó muy bonito. Everything was
can't hear
well
myself.
done.
Oh, this is
Sarah, yes, beautiful.
fine. Okay, dime, Mami.
Everything was well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks, Maria, for texting to let me know about needing the translation.
Yes.
Mami, so I'm thinking in the future, while we start to wrap up, that it would be good for you to maybe focus your presentations more on demonstration, because I think you're stronger with the recipes and less on the theory. What do you think?
Yo hago bien con mi práctica, sí. El problema que yo he tenido es porque yo estoy aprendiendo a manejar la tecnología. Ese es el problema número uno. Si yo supiera manejar la tecnología, fuera mucho mejor, porque yo tengo los conocimientos, yo lo tengo fijos. Pero yo puedo hacer más.
Sorry, I just wanted to turn the recording.
Yo puedo concentrarme.
Mami,
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to.
¿Qué pasó?
Todavía está grabando. Oops.
I just want to double check that it did in fact from your end. Sorry.
It's
I don't mean to
still- it's still
interrupt.
No, it's okay.
It
It's
is
still
recording.
recording, yeah.
I'm just going on your end. Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
Sí,
I could have.
en mis talleres yo puedo